Hello everyone, welcome to the session on cybersecurity. So today we are going to look at attacks on wireless networks. Okay, so the different attacks that can be performed on wireless networks are sniffing, spoofing, denial of service, man in the middle attack, and WPA cracking. So sniffing means in this attack you will be on the same network as the target, and you will be using tools like Wireshark or TCP dump or any similar software to monitor all the packets which are being sent from the target machine to internet. Okay, so you can by using sniffing you can see the username and password if the target is using protocols like HTTP. Okay, so next, spoofing. So spoofing can be either MAC spoofing, IP spoofing, or frame spoofing. So spoofing means you are trying to impersonate another system. Okay, so it can be done either spoofing the MAC address or IP address or the frame itself. And then we have denial of service attack, which I have explained in the previous sessions. And then we have man in the middle attack, which we will see in the coming slides. And at the end we have WPA cracking. So WPA means Wi-Fi protected access. So it's like a standard for protecting the transmissions going on between the systems which are using Wi-Fi. We have WPA2 as well, which is the newer version of a WPA. So these are the different types of attacks, and how to secure our wireless network against all those attacks. So you have to follow all these things. So first one is change default settings of all devices. So you have to change the default username and password which is associated with the device. And second one is if your device supports, like your router supports or your mobile device supports this WPA or web encryption, you have to enable them. If you enable them, the data will be encrypted and then sent to another device. So if someone uses sniffing or such kind of attacks, they cannot understand what you are transmitting. Okay, and next one is change the default service set identifier. So the service set identifier is the name you will see when you search for Wi-Fi services. Okay, so make sure that the Wi-Fi name does not that is no one can infer that is your network. Okay, don't keep your personal names etc as SSIDs. And next one is enable MAC address filtering. So MAC address filtering is a pretty cool feature. It restricts the access to the device based on the MAC address. Okay, so this can be applied in organizations or at house, at your home, etc. Okay, so next one is disable remote login. So some of the routers and other devices support remote logins. Okay, so your device is at one place and you are at another place, so that you can log into your device maybe at home and control it. Okay, so if any such remote login feature is there, don't forget to disable it. And next one is disable SSID broadcast. And another one is try to connect only to secured wireless networks. So this is very important. Nowadays, people are connecting to whatever networks they find in their vicinities, like at the railway stations, cinema halls, hotels, etc. So whenever you are at public places and you are using public wireless networks, always be careful. Don't send any sensitive information like usernames and passwords when you are connected to the network. We don't know who is accessing the network and who is maintaining the one is upgrade routers firmware periodically. So once you purchase the router, the manufacturer of your router releases firmware patches later on. So don't forget to install them. And some more guidelines: assign static IP address to devices. So that is a good thing to do. By assigning static IP address, you can control it in a more efficient way. And then you have to enable firewall both in your devices and in your system. And then turn off the network when not in use. So don't keep your network turned on always, even when you are not using. Turn it off. And then monitor wireless network security periodically. So this is like checking whether the encryption standards are enabled or not. And also it is a good practice to change your Wi-Fi password from time to time. Don't keep the same password and leave it like that. So these are the various things you can follow to secure your wireless networks. Okay, so now I am going to discuss about some of the tools. So we look at Wireshark, TCP dump, HPIN, which we have seen already, and we will see this man in the middle attack in the coming slides. Okay, so this is not a tool; it's a technique. So remaining three are tools. So first one is Wireshark. So it's used for sniffing. Okay, and it is a packet analyzer. So when you transfer data from your system to internet or other systems, the data will be transmitted in the form of packets. So you can analyze those packets using this tool called Wireshark. So it's free and open source. You can download it for free and use it. It is a GUI tool. It provides various filters to filter out different protocols. You can filter out different systems, etc. There are a lot of features in Wireshark, and you can follow protocol streams. That is, if you want to monitor TCP packets from one system to another system, you can do that. And you can see a summary of the packets based on the protocols as well as hosts. Hosts means the other systems which your system is communicating with. And then we have another similar tool like Wireshark, which is called TCP dump. So it is also a packet analyzer. So it is also free and open source, but the drawback is it's a command line tool. So for analyzing the packets, we have to type long commands, which might not be easy. And it provides descriptions of packets on the network interface. Network interface means a system can have multiple interfaces, like one might be Ethernet, another might be Wi-Fi, another might be Bluetooth interface, etc. And it has a very powerful filtering ability, just like Wireshark, and it is actually faster than Wireshark. Why? Because it does not have any GUI and all these things. So these are the various options supported by TCP dump. I am not going to go through all these things. Please pause the video and have a look at them. And it provides various filtering options. So you can filter out various protocols. You can filter out by, you can analyze the packets from a specific host. Host means a single system, or you can specify a subnet or an entire network. You can analyze only packets from a particular port, or you can specify a range of ports, and also you can filter out particular sources or particular destinations. Okay, and you can use logical operations and all. So here are some examples. So look at this. Okay, so here I is used for interface, and this is Ethernet interface, ETH0, and N means there is no conversion. So you can see here, this is the thing, don't convert addresses into names. Okay, so name resolution is not there. And look at this example. So here we have turned off name resolution, and we are using a single host. which is this IP address, and you are filtering out only ICMP traffic. Okay. So similarly, we have other examples, and then we have another tool called HPing. So this can be used as packet analyzer, it can be used for performing DOS attacks and various other things. Okay, so you can perform analyze TCP and IP packets. It's a command line tool. It supports these protocols TCP, UDP, and ICMP. And you can do firewall testing. That is, if the target supports any firewall or not. You can do port scanning, and you can do remote operating system fingerprinting, just like what you can do using Nmap. And of course, you can perform DOS attacks. Okay, so here are some examples of using HPing. So this one, first one is for port scanning. So here you can see what we are doing. We are doing SYN-SCAN for scanning ports in the range 0 to 500. So this is the option we use for scanning --scan and the port range 0 to 500. And this specifies SYN-SCAN and it's the target IP address. Okay. And this one is for performing DOS attack. So you can pause the video and have a look at this. So here this one specifies -rand -source specifies that the attack is coming from multiple IPs. Even though you are using a single system, this option enables the HPing tool to tell the target that the attack is coming from multiple IP addresses. So this will generate random IP addresses and send the packets to this target. Okay, so that's it. And now we are going to look at man in the middle attack. So what is this attack means? In this attack, the attacker makes himself or herself come between other interconnected devices. So as the name itself implies, man in the middle means the attacker will come in between other devices which are communicating with each other. Okay, so that enables the attacker to intercept, read, and modify the contents of packets between the interconnected devices. Now we will see how to perform man in the middle attack using a protocol called ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Of course, MITM can be done in different ways, but we are going to see MITM using ARP protocol. So, as I already said, ARP means Address Resolution Protocol. So, what is the use of the protocol means? It translates an IP address into MAC address. Okay. So, as we already know, IP address means it is a layer 3 protocol, and MAC means it's a layer 2 protocol. Okay. So why this is required means it is required for passing the data from network layer to data link layer. Okay. So it is as like this. So from machine A, which is the sending machine, the packets will be coming from top layers. Finally, it will reach layer 3 network layer, and then for it to transfer to the second layer, it needs MAC address. Okay. So for this conversion, it is done by ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Okay, so then it will go to the other system and it will go to the layer 2 and then it will reach the layer 3. So here there is another protocol called RARP, Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. So its task is to convert MAC address into IP address. Okay, so MITM attack, so it is like this. First, we have two machines. This is the sending machine, this is the receiving machine. So first, an ARP request will be sent from machine A to machine B. Okay. So see here, ARP request is sent, and second, the machine B receiver will send its MAC address to machine A, and the MAC address is stored here. So let's see again. Okay, see here. So B the IP address of B and the MAC address of B will be stored in the arc table which belongs to machine A. Now see what happens. Now the hacker comes in between and sends that and says that the MAC address which is actually belonging to hacker system is associated with IP address of B. Now see here in the arc table what is happening here. So the IP address of B is stored, but the MAC address is being changed to MAC address of hacker system. Okay. So what will happen is this will happen. So instead of these two devices communicating with each other, now the hacker is saying that I am Adam to gateway. Okay. So and to Adam, what is the hacker saying? To Adam, he is saying that I am the gateway. Now the information transfer will go like this. Okay, and like this, and this original connection will no longer be used. So this is the man in the middle attack. Okay, so let's see the demonstration of this man in the middle attack using ARP poisoning, that is address resolution protocol poisoning. So here we have our machine A, and this is our receiver B, like in our previous example. So they are communicating like this. Okay, or let's think that this is the system B, and they are communicating like this right now. Now here is the hacker, which is also connected to this system B. Now after ARP poisoning, after sending the fake MAC address of H to A, what happens is the connection will be transformed into like this. So this is our system A, this is our system B, and this is the hacking system, hacker system H. Okay, so now this is the man in the middle, MIT, yeah, which is the hacker system. Now this hacker can use tools like Wireshark, which is a sniffing tool, and see all the packets which are going in between A and B. Now with the this A and B are using protocols like HTTP, which does not support encryption, and they are typing usernames and passwords. Everything can be seen by hacker. Okay, so that is MIT, man in the middle attack. That's it. Thank you.